Okie dokie. Everyone is here and ready, so we can begin. Last time you all headed back to Penny's hut with the Luma Penna, who you saved from the cave. And there at the hut, you encountered a trio that seemed to have been sent by the magistrate of Winnowing Reach, Walden Crane, to do the same jobs as you. The three birdfolk were Riffin and Werner, who were both Strigs, and Julia, who was a Corvin. You were able to talk them down and
Only get stabbed a couple times.
Yeah, only to get stabbed a couple of times. Just a little bit from Werner, who's a bit angry.
What's a few stabbings between friends?
Yeah, just a few stabs. You're able to talk them down, and you handed Penny's ocarina to them to prove to the magistrate that Penny has died. Penny decided to leave her hut and head to Coriander, and she did that with Endo in tow, who decided he must protect Penny and Coriander and become the future Marsh Knight. So the trio of them apparently were going to head to Marshview after picking Coriander. Back at Winnowing Reach, you spoke to the magistrate, who didn't seem to believe the trio had killed Penny, but you were able to convince him otherwise. And you got your letter of introduction so that you're able to meet the Birdfolk Council at Alderheart. You also got treated to drinks and food by Kenna, who was appreciative of you saving her. After that, you headed towards Alderheart. You encountered on the first night Tulip, a Gallus tender, who kind of spoke to Maybell specifically about what she does, as well as the cult of Cordella and a toll that was set ahead by bandits. You encounter the bandits on the second day of travel and were able to get them to move off, especially when they noticed the sword Ivo took from Lisa that denotes a bandit captain. And you traveled uneventfully, and after the third night, you finally reached Alderheart, and that is where we will begin today's session. So, as you are reaching Alderheart, Eliza stops and gestures upwards towards a network of platforms and bridges in the canopy of this tree that's now towering above you, and its leaves are kind of casting a wide shadow below. And upon closer inspection of the trees, you can see steps that have been carved into the trunk that allow folk to walk up the trunk to the higher canopy levels. And Eliza smiles at you all and says, "Well, this is where we part. Let me just gather up your reward." And she kind of goes back to her cart and starts milling about there.
That's a big tree.
It's definitely a big tree.
Not that that's a problem or anything, but... Oh, that's a big tree.
You didn't seem okay with that other tree. Are you sure you're gonna be alright?
Of course I am. I'm gonna be fine. Oh.
No worries. I heard that if you stick towards the middle of the trunk and canopy, you don't even notice you're in a tree, so hopefully that will be okay for you. And she moves away from her cart and starts handing you a pouch of gold, it containing the 40 gold she promised to each of you. And as well, she gestures towards her cart. Take whatever you like under 50 gold. And literally, you guys can just look at the typical adventuring things and choose items up to 50 gold. whatever you would like, including magic paper for a wizard friend.
I will take 50 gold of magic paper.
So they are just common items, correct?
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta pull up a list for this stuff.
Armor included in that?
Yep.
Oh yeah. So Taunak would grab himself some ring mail.
Stepping up in the world of armor.
Yay! I'm almost back to where I started.
I also have 40 gold in gems and 10 gold magnifying glass. Would that be something that I could, like, sell to her?
Oh, I'm sorry, not ring mail. I meant scale mail.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Now that you say armor, that sounds delectable.
Who needs armor?
That's chunky boys.
It's a whole extra 2 points of AC.
Ooh.
I mean, that is pretty nice.
How much AC do you have with the extra 2?
That brings me to an 18.
Nice.
Let's see. That would be another point. Yeah. Yeah, I will do scale mail as well.
Yeah, and everyone now, I assume, have their items. And with that, Eliza says, "It's time for me to head off. Come by my shop in a couple of days. I'll likely have stocked better items at that point. My new shop will be at the edge of a Canopy Market. It's quite exciting." And she waves as she slowly pushes her cart towards the trunk of the tree, where there seems to be a platform and pulley system to help her get her cart to the higher levels of the tree. And with that, I will move us to the Alderheart map. So the tree of Alderheart City is divided into 3 main levels. The canopy at the top, the trunk in the middle, and the roots. The canopy contains the chamber of the Birdfolk Council, which is where you'll be headed to speak to them, as well as the headquarters of the Perch Guard, which are the guards that you will see throughout the city and who report to the council. The largest market in the wood, containing shops for weapons, armor, and magical items, as well as some of the richest homes in the wood that are located in the Bose district, which is there. The trunk is kind of like an intermediary zone between the super rich canopy and the less affluent roots. It's generally filled with residences of humble folk and also contains some more typical shops and stores that hold like more common items. And then the roots are a series of tunnels that are dug kind of between the roots of the tree, and the area could be considered the slums of the city. And the air is kind of dank and humid as a lot of mushrooms grow along its walls. And to get to the city, you need to take a winding stairway up the trunk and into a canopy that's filled with bird and humble folk that are kind of bustling around. There are buildings located within the leaves and crowded roadways that have been sculpted from giant branches. And the roadways are connected with ropes and bridges and platforms. The Perch Guard are kind of milling about, throughout the city, keeping peace. And you'll also notice the workers who are operating the pulley systems that raise the carts and have helped Eliza go into the higher canopy platform.
Get the feeling it's gonna be easy to get lost.
Hey, I just remember, didn't we hear that there was some sort of like a bandit camp out in the woods near here? Maybe someone should stay down here and stand guard.
Probably not.
Yeah, plenty of yards here. This is the center.
I suppose that's true.
I prefer to stay that down the ground too. Honestly, that's pretty high up.
It'll be fine. We won't push you or anything.
Tanog looks visibly alarmed at the implication that you might have considered it before.
Well, I mean, my character wouldn't, but there's others that might have a little fun with that.
And Ivo might have some fun with that.
Yeah,
If Ivo pushes me, I'm gonna cry.
And as you're talking, a member of the Perch Guard, who's a kind of tall Luma, steps towards you and is like, you all need some help? You seem kind of lost. And she tilts her head.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to Alderheart. Your first time here, I assume?
Yeah.
That's quite grand, isn't it?
It's something.
You need help getting somewhere?
Maybe? Looked at my party members.
that would be helpful, sure.
We're looking for the council plaza, I think. So that's
yes.
down in the underbows, right?
And
The-
like
Underfall, that's what I'm thinking
yeah,
of.
Volker kind of just like winks at her, like, yeah, it's not real high up or anything. I'm sure. And kind of does the very very obvious, like, come on, play along, please.
No, it's not high at all. In fact, it's located within the trunk where you can't even see the ground.
Oh, well, that sounds like a nice little climb. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I can even get us up through the pulley system. It is a bit quicker.
Police system?
Of course. You see those platforms over there? Normally they're used for carts, but since you're traveling with me, it gets you up higher faster.
What do those pulley systems look like?
They look like a wooden platform with a kind of
Say, are they those
a
cranes?
fencing around the platform itself that are attached with rope that reach high up into the tree, and bird folk and humble folk are kind of manning the pulley and raising the platform up and down.
I think we should go through the trees. Might give us a better lay of the land and all that.
Of course we can do that. Come. And she kind of walks towards a set of stairs.
Thank you, miss.
No problem. My name is Dahlia, by the way. Feel free to mention my name to the council when you speak, just to hopefully get me in good graces with them. I would love a promotion.
Sure.
Thank you. And may I ask your names?
Mabel. Mabel Yarrowbrook.
Townhawk.
I'm Volker. And that's
And
Ivo. Because he's here too, sure.
Yep.
And Ivo just nods, He's feeling
Yep.
quiet today.
Wonderful to meet all of you. So you can come up these stairs as we enter the trunk. You can kind of see these, and she kind of goes on this tour-like voice talking about how the holes in the trunk allow light into the bright hollows within the trunk.
That's neat. Don't you think that's neat, Townhawk? That's neat, right?
Fascinating.
Any amount of required climbing, Townhawk is literally like pressed up against the interior wall, like sidling his way up very slowly.
Yes, and we have tenders who always tend to all the branches, making them stronger than ever in order to support our growing population. And she continues on her way talking about tenders, etc. And this is the trunk market. You can see typical items sold here as you reach about here on the tree.
Oh boy. Oh.
Do you need them, Towner?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be fine? This is fine. Oh.
Now, this can be the tricky bit as she leads you towards the branches, and you kind of see that the paths literally branch off into many different ways. Now, the way to get to the canopy is to go this way, and she leads you down a thicker branch within its interior still.
Okay.
Mayhaps. Is there like a chewing herb or something to help? Oh, this nausea. Oh, dear. Oh.
I would advise you not to look down.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, all right. We're almost there, right? You said it wasn't that high up?
Yep, we are almost there.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And as you all kind of reach higher into the branches to about here, Jill starts saying, and this is where the Canopy Market is. We have a whole lot of shops and stores. It's boasted as the largest market in all of the wood. You can find many items here, both rare and common. It is a great place to shop.
Oh. And then maybe once our business is settled, we can spend some pleasure gold.
Of course, I do highly recommend it. The Canopy Market also has a couple of inns that are well suited for people who like the comforts of their home. Although there are cheaper inns in the trunk market as well. And going higher, and she kind of now leaves the interior of a branch coming out onto a platform up here.
Cool.
And now we have reached the platform that holds the council chambers.
Does it look... What can we see of this area?
So you see a wide platform that is really sturdily attached to the branches at the top of the tree. You see the council chambers are a kind of a domed structure in the middle of the foliage at the center of this platform. The platform is connected to all the branch roads that run to the exterior of the tree. And in front of the door of the council chambers, there are 2 armored perch guards. Once you're ready, you can step out onto the platform.
Okay.
Taunok is too busy trying to just focus on get where we're going, get this over with, get this done, to actually look around enough to appreciate exactly how high up they are.
Yeah, Volker will like cast minor illusion to like have like a butterfly or something. He's like, just Taunok, just watch the butterfly. Don't focus on anything else, and just walk forward, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Why wouldn't I be fine? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. Whew. Yeah.
Now, if you would like to enter the council chambers as quickly as possible, please tell me the purpose of your visit, and I can go speak to those other Perch Guard members over there to get you from this platform to the interior of the chamber as quickly as possible.
Well, we're here with a letter of recommendation. Harvester burned down.
Oh, another fire. Mm-hmm. Did you have the letter with you, please?
Yeah. Presents it.
Yeah, she takes a quick look at it and kind of nods to herself. Okay, I will be right back. And she runs over to the 2 perch guards, and they start chatting quietly amongst each other for a few moments before Dahlia looks back towards you all and smiles and waves you over.
Taunok does his best to unclamp his talons from the wood and hesitantly make his way over.
Yep. And one of the guards that was standing at the door gives a nod to you all, and it says, "Everything is in order. Please join the others waiting to be summoned. May I get your names?" And Dahlia says, "Oh, I can answer that. Don't worry about that. Everyone just go in as quickly as you can."
Thank you, Thalia.
Yep.
You're welcome. And once you're all inside, the doors close, and you can see a handful of other bird and humble folk kind of milling about the waiting room of the chamber. And every once in a while, you hear a name being called, and one of the folk waiting get led off by a guard to go speak to the council.
Well, this is exciting, isn't it?
Feel a bit more secure now that we're in the building. I didn't realize that wind would pick up as much as we got higher. The branches like helped, but it's still quite chilly.
Yeah, you get used to that the more you're up here in the trees. Yeah.
And Volker's just kind of like straightening up his like sort of slightly tattered, robes and stuff at this point. Saying, well, yeah, but we're like just nice to be in someplace nice and not, scrounging around in the mud.
I like the mud. Thank you.
Lovely.
And a guard calls for your group. Says, Hannah, Maybell, Evo, and Volker. Please make your way over here.
Okay. Shuffles over.
slow going, but aside from some roughly grabbed handholds wherever they are even remotely available, doable.
Yeah, you see some like handholds like on the little stairs that lead you up to the double doors where the chamber. And
Like Townok's definitely bringing up the rear at this point, but he's making it.
And the guard leads you through a set of double doors into the council chambers, where you can see 5 bird folk on elevated seats, each with a podium with like papers on top of it. From left to right, there are one each of the bird folk species. So there's a small female kestrel raptor, a male mourning dove luma, a white-feathered peahen gallus female, and a female large great owl strake, and a male corvin magpie at the end. And the gallus at the center raises a talon in greeting and says, "You now stand in the presence of the Birdfolk Council. I am the council's speaker, Beta. Please state your case."
Harvester has burned down. And it seems quite unnatural.
Yes, we are aware of the spreading fires. Unfortunately, the Perch Guard have mainly focused on keeping the bandits at bay that seem to be growing in activity as of late. We cannot have the Perch Guard separating off and jeopardizing our great city as well as essential trading hubs.
We specifically ask for relief to help the Denzians of a Harvester.
And she kind of gives a pause as the Corvin at the end kind of glances at her. And Volker, even without any kind of check, you can tell that they're probably using message to speak amongst themselves.
I will not make any notice that, or try to make any attempt to let anybody know that I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the refugees went to Meadowfen. They're a little overwhelmed.
I suppose Meadowfen is closer there than where Harvester once was. And I have heard of your names. You were the ones who provided us with a map to the bandit camp, were you not?
Yes.
She bows her head a little bit and says, "We thank you for that. It seems the bandits were planning on overrunning our city, but with your help, we were able to stop their advance and tear down their camp. And with the bandits we captured, we even discovered the location of their stronghold. As I say, we are thankful. Thus, we have decided to discuss the process of sending a cart of supplies with a small platoon of Perch Guard to aid the folk of Meadowfen, as well as surrounding towns."
Thank you. Guys, we're not planning on doing anything, right? Should we volunteer to escort the supplies back too?
Aren't we supposed to ask about the fireproof rock thing? Ovamea.
I'm not very good at asking these. But we are very grateful for that. Oh gosh, I'm so uncomfortable. We also heard that there were experiments of copying the Ovamea.
And when you say Ovamea, the council seems to kind of show some reaction. The raptor clenches her taloned fist, and the Corvum looks at Speaker Beta again. The Luma seems to freeze, his eyes wide, and the string kind of lets out a gasp before covering her beak with a talon. Beta raises her talon and to quiet the others and says, "We assure you the Ovamea is being experimented on, as you say. We have the greatest researchers from the avium investigating whether or not it can be broken into pieces to spread its protection amongst as many settlements as possible."
The sooner we get this over, the sooner we can get down. Where's that happening?
I am afraid that is
Confidential.
yes, as Maybell says.
Apparently there are some interesting silver slimes that can do stuff with magic. I don't know if you heard about that. Apparently they might be able to cancel for a short period of time. Maybe that could be of use to your experiments.
Yes, we are aware of that. We do get reports from the Magistrate of Winnowing Reach on the research activities of the bird folk researching in Winnowing. It is something we are looking into. We thank you for speaking of it, though.
Is there anything else?
Well, since you do have some renown that seems to be growing, may we ask what your plans are now? With your growing reputation, we could offer you a job, if you desire.
Would we have to keep coming back up here?
No. Feel free to tell. What was the little one's name that you walked up here with? Dahlia. Dahlia, please tell her. You will probably see her somewhere near the bottom of the trail.
She was extremely helpful, by the way. So just she was great. Great introduction to the tree.
Yes, she is quite knowledgeable and does adore Alderheart and the tree that it houses.
But I think we would be interested in assisting and seeing what else we could do to help.
And she nods. It would be most appreciated. We do have a couple of jobs that might be of interest to you. Some smaller around the city. Others will be larger and require some travel of you. First of all, there seems to be a group of Gerbean bandits terrorizing the trunk market. If you take care of them, we will provide each of you 100 gold. Second, we would like you to investigate the bandits' stronghold. You need not engage, but determining their numbers and plans would be of great benefit to us and allow us to form a plan of attack. We can provide you bandit outfits to aid in your stealth and would grant you all 200 gold each for bringing back information. Finally, if you wish to continue your investigation of the flames, which you seem to be interested in, we implore you to explore Hillcrest to find the reason why they have not been affected by the flames. According to the tenders, they seem to be the only town who's come out of the flames unscathed, and we believe there must be a reason for it. We would provide 200 gold for any information you can bring back, and 300 if you bring back something specific that would aid us.
Right, well, that's all I needed to know. Come on, let's go.
Maybell, with your passive wisdom, you do notice that the Corvin at the end does seem a little bit agitated, as if he wants to say something, but knows he can't because the speaker of the council is Beta. And Beta continues and says, yes, you may confer amongst yourselves before making a decision. Once you do, please let Dahlia know, and she will be our little messenger.
Oh, all right. Thank you. We'll probably stay at one of the trunk inns.
Of course. Is there anything else you wish to speak of while you are present?
Anything, Ivo? You got something for us? I feel like Ivo would probably also be generally somewhat uncomfortable in this place anyway, so he probably wouldn't say much.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know if he would have gone into the council chambers.
Probably not.
I think that's all for now. Thank you for having an audience with us.
Of course, we believe in having audience with all folk who live in the wood. If there is nothing else, the guards will lead you back out onto the canopy, and then you can make your way to where you wish.
Volker will do a
Right.
very gracious bow and walk out.
Yeah, and the guards lead you back out to the canopy where Dahlia doesn't seem to be anymore. She probably went off to back to her duties. So you have been left at the very top of the tree of Alderheart.
Townhawk is making a beeline at a still very cautious pace back into the branch as soon as he can. Like, no stop to conversation, no nothing. Like, into something that feels relatively safe.
Yep.
So, note to self, I need to get Calm Person as a spell. Just relax, buddy, relax. I have Charm Person. I don't think that would work.
Charm Person helps you convince people, because charmed people are more likely to listen to you.
I have to waste the spell slot on it.
Also, I think Calm Emotions
Calm
is
Emotions,
like
yeah.
quite a bit higher level.
It is much higher. I could just put you to sleep. How about that?
Yep. You might not be able to. My health might be too high.
5d8?
5d8 averages to like 18, like 22 and a half. So yeah, on average, you get about a coin flip on whether or not you would put me to sleep.
As long as nobody else is standing around and sucking up points.
I have 22 hit points.
Oh.
Actually, Tara, I hate to make you repeat. What was that city they want us to go to one more time, please?
They want you to go to Hillcrest, so I can quickly
Hillcrest.
That's for the
pull
flame,
you
right?
over here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Volker votes.
Yeah, Hillcrest or the bandit camp, either one. Makes sense to do the bandit camp while we're right here. Can we talk about this once we're down on the ground again?
Yeah, do you want to take the lift? Be faster.
Nope.
It'll be faster.
Yeah, nope, all set. I thought I saw something, maybe in that market. Who knows, maybe we'll pick up something about those Jarines on the way down. But we'll go through that way, and then we'll talk more once we're out of the city. You know, prying ears, all that.
Yeah, so I assume you all quickly make your way back through the branches
Quick,
finding
maybe an overstatement, but
at a good moderate pace that's quick enough that you get down relatively quickly, but also slow to be safe.
simultaneously cautious and hurried.
I feel like
And
I
it's
should mention this before we reach the trunk, but that Corbin man seemed like he wanted to talk to us from the council.
They were also talking amongst themselves with spells, which isn't in and of itself probably not, anything particularly sinister, but still, it's kind of rude. I don't know.
Well, he can talk to us when we get back.
Oh, okay.
And getting back down to the trunk is easier navigating than going up, because as you go down, the branch gets wider and wider, so you're able to just follow the widening branch to get yourselves back down to where the trunk market is.
Should we stop?
I changed my mind. I think we should keep going. That other one was going to pay better anyway. Come on, let's go.
Here I thought you were somewhat partial to Jervine.
Little rat, yeah, sure, totally. Come on, let's get out of here. The sooner we go, the sooner we can get paid or whatever.
Aha.
And you keep going down, 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 and going down some steps that are external to the trunk itself. You head down to the forest floor once more.
All right, so what were we talking about?
It seemed like the Corbin council member wanted to talk to us more, but he wasn't the speaker, right? So he can't? At least not in that room, if I understand correctly, right?
I think the speaker is the speaker, I guess. The name that for a reason, and that the others discuss amongst themselves with their magic messages, and then the speaker is the one who tells us what they want us to hear. But yes, it's possible that she chose not to mention what the rest of them or that person was trying to say.
Well, I mean, if you guys want to go do all those stairs again, I mean, more power to you, but I'm a little winded from all the climbing, so maybe I'll just wait here for you.
Well, I don't really know that we'd be able to get back and talk to him anyway.
I think we should at least spend one night in here.
Crazy? Do you see how rickety that whole place was?
Well, I did say that we should. If he's as well connected as I assume he is, then he should be able to find us real quick.
Which means we should probably not stay in the nicest place available, someplace maybe lower down to dual purposes, to make sure that Townok feels a little safer, and also, if we go down to, maybe if we go down to the Underfall, those people are less likely to know who he is, so if he wanted to find us, making things easier for him, maybe.
How do you feel about underground?
The Underfall. Surprised you didn't take us through there either. Must not be someplace they're super happy to show off.
Heh.
Still, given their current architectural sensibilities, that certainly seems like it would be the most sensible place. Like Volker said, it's a easy place to get messages and whatnot. Although, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about with feeling safer. I've never met a challenge I didn't feel safe with. That came out wrong. You know what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
But yeah, if we want to get in touch with them, Underfall seems like a good way to do it.
Sure. So let's do that then. Just for a night.
Yeah, if you can't be bothered enough to meet us at that point, then I don't know. Camp, Hillcrest. What's the plan from there?
I definitely want to go to Hillcrest.
Hillcrest for sure.
All right, Hillcrest. Besides, it'd be a good chance to check up on Penny and the Coriander and them.
Hybo might want to go scout the bandit camp for his sister, though.
Yeah, where did that little weasel get off to anyway?
My guess is he's probably already in the Underfall with his people. And he sort of just chuckles like, No, he didn't really mean it, but he's just trying to be funny.
It is. Still don't like how mixed up he is with those bandits. Like, people have histories or whatever, I get it, but... I suppose there's nothing we can do about it, though.
Yeah, he's an alright guy. Hasn't let us down so far.
Yeah. When I'm not contemplating homicide around him, he certainly seems passable.
It's fair.
So I assume you're all heading to the Underfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's easy enough to find. You just turn around, go back into the main trunk, and then head downward under the tree into the root, where you see the branches and roads and things here are not as upkept as the rest of the tree. You kind of see like wood rot and fungi growing around, and there are mainly humble folk that have made their homes here, and the wood and things that they're using to create their homes, of course, are less built up than the ones in the trunk that you passed by. You do also see a handful of bird folk, but they are most certainly not as affluent as the ones that you've seen throughout the rest of the trunk. One thing you also notice is that there seem to be less presence of the perch guard here, as if they just want to kind of forget that the Underfall really exists in the first place.
Good to finally see some nice, sensible folks down here. No, I think I saw someone had a freaking smithy set up in one of those branches. Can you imagine? Whole place made out of wood. Crazy.
And walking through the Underfall, you do see various shops that mainly seem to be trading rather than using gold to barter. You do see an inn that seems to be taking a couple of guests, or chatting with a couple of guests at the moment. you do also see the homes, as I mentioned. And the roots themselves, it's kind of more maze-like than even the branches were.
Seems a little more level.
See, nice, sturdy construction down here. Relatively speaking. So, we find it in. Ask around for one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, asking around the inn is really easy to find. The inn itself only seems to house like 3 tables with a few scattered chairs about them. There are stairs leading to the second floor that does seem to hold a couple of rooms. The innkeeper seems to be an elderly Vulcan woman. Her fur growing white around her muzzle, and has glasses kind of perched atop her snout as she's squinting down at some books and making some notes.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Need a room?
Please.
Yep.
Of course. And she adjusts her glasses, takes a look at the 3 of you, looks back down, makes a couple notes. 1 room available. Is that all right?
Yep, it'll have to do.
Thank you. 5 gold each.
Volker's kind of like contemplating whether or not he's going to say anything. That's fine. I'll pay for it,
Yeah.
everybody. So 20 gold for the 4 of us.
You could say Ivo is off doing Ivo things.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Right, here is your key, and she pushes a key forward as she makes a couple more notes. Thank you.
All right. Let's head out.
Suppose the more we hang around, the easier we are to find.
And you head up to your room. The wood here is also a little bit rotted, and you can smell that kind of dank, damp air that's kind of permeating the entire Underfall. Once you open the door to your room, there is just kind of 1 bed off to the side and a desk haphazardly put in a corner that doesn't seem to have a chair with it.
All right.
What was the bed situation you said?
It's a single bed, like a single size bed for 1 person.
Best 15 gold I ever spent.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
I'll stay on the floor.
Call a chair.
There is no chair.
Oh. Yep.
And sit on the desk.
Yep.
I imagine the bed is probably not very comfortable anyway, so.
No, like the mattress seems to just been filled with old, downy birdfolk feathers. It's kind of lumpy bird feathers kind of sticking out every which way. So when you lay on it, you get poked.
Yep. This is the life.
Well, do we just want to hang out and see if he shows up, or what do we want to do here?
It's kind of all I really intended. Also, to just rest up before we just start trekking again.
I mean, I guess we can wait in shifts if people want to go look around. Is there anything you wanted to say?
I just need to no, I'm good.
How about you, Volker?
There's plenty of things that would be interesting, but it doesn't really feel like the best time to do it. And I don't really need to, I don't need anything. It'd be more of a sightseeing tour, but I'm sure we'll be back.
Lovely.
But if people want to rest, we can take turns sleeping in this super comfortable bed.
I suppose that's a good point. Probably beats the floor.
Barely, but sure.
I can take care of food for us.
Oh, wait.
Townok, I'm pretty sure, has a bedroll. I'm gonna double check this.
Yeah, I was looking for mine. I have a scholar's pack, so I got nothing that would be helpful. I have a little bag of sand. Could use that as a pillow.
Yeah, or to level out the lumps.
Yeah.
Oh, nope. I had a Dungeoneer's pack, so I do not have a bedroll for once.
I have a bedroll, and I'll take it out and set it up.
Townok might have one too, although we don't technically know where he is.
Yeah. Well,
If the desk is empty, like the surface of it, if we're not throwing all of our stuff down on it, I'd like to use Magnificent Beast.
You can go ahead and do that.
Some nice steamed roly-poly bugs. With the bamboo straws, you suck up the insides.
Gross. Well, at least it'll be something impressive if someone from the council shows up.
Some nice cheeses.
yep.
Some bread.
Nabel trying to poison us all again.
Sweetie, if I'm gonna poison you, you gotta do something to earn it first.
I mean, as Townok is saying that, he is also, like, taking some of the food. But...
Some of these are better than my own cooking.
I don't understand.
That's magic for you.
Oh, good. So after I eat it, it's just gonna all disappear and I'm gonna be hungry again.
No.
Well, might as well enjoy it while it lasts before it all vanishes. Turns into muck or whatever.
It just disappears. But you still get all the nutrition.
Do we want to set a watch?
Sure, since it was my idea, I'll take the crummiest watch.
That way, whoever's up, we can trade off the bedrolls of the bed and stuff, and then one person's just standing watch, not sleeping.
Mm.
I said I can take the late hours. I don't know how well you two see in the dark.
Well, I can cast a spell to wake me up if something happens. That way we don't really have to set any watches at all.
Suppose that's true. Alright, well, how about you show off this magic mumbo-jumbo alarm clock?
And I will pull out a fine piece of silver wire and stretch it out and then get... There's a tiny little bell. When, if something breaks the... or hits the wire, then the bell will go off and it will... You won't be able to hear it, but it'll wake me up. And then I can wake you all up.
Seems like something ringing the bell is something we'd all hear.
It's magic.
Of course it is.
I don't have a bell or anything on me.
I mean, I didn't realize I can make it audible for everybody.
Good.
So if you'd like to be woken up by the bell, I can do that for you.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. So, eat up and go to bed. Yeah.
I will designate Ivo so he can come in and not set off the...
Yep.
We should lock the door too. Ivo will probably get in regardless.
Wait, what do you mean you don't want Ivo to set off your little magical doohickey? I want to know when that little creep sneaks back in here.
Well, I could do that, but...
See if he decides to bring any of his little friends with him.
So at this point, I assume you just finish off your food, head off to bed, the alarm is set. Anything else you wish to discuss before falling asleep?
Not that I'm aware of, just evening prayers.
Taunok is exhausted, literally, and just also from having to be in a big ass tree today. So no, he's going to sleep.
I forgot about all of exhaustion.
I'm down to just one level if this long rest goes well.
Okay.
Yeah. So people sleep.
Yep. And let me just fix something. Okay, so about, say, early morning, Volker, in your dreams, you start to hear a voice saying, wake up, please, if you could, please. And kind of in your half dream, half awake like state, you can sort of recognize that someone is trying to send you a message. I don't know if message can be used when someone's asleep, but I'm saying yes.
What is? I don't.
Turns out he's
I,
just a much higher level caster casting
yeah.
Dream.
I don't have that spell, so I can't roll it to see what it says. But
Yeah, that's what I was checking. It doesn't mention anything about the person having to be awake.
it just says that they have to be in the same plane of existence, right?
Yeah.
Well, message
Ideal.
also you have to be within like
Yeah, message.
30
Yeah,
feet or something.
I always get message and sending confused.
120 feet.
Sending is the one that can be from very far away.
Yeah.
But yes, he will wake up, and I assume that even though he can't cast that particular spell, he understands what's going on. He says, yes, I'm awake.
I am outside the inn. If you would like to wake the others and meet up, or I can come inside. I didn't want to bother you.
Yeah, just a moment. We'll have you come in, and he will wake everybody else up. Like, he's outside. He's outside. Everybody get up.
Oh. Mm.
And then he will drop the alarm spell.
Okay.
Yeah. And a few moments later, you hear a knock at the door.
And I'll
All
open it
right,
if nobody
all
else does.
right, I'm up. What's going on?
The polite knock.
Come again?
Someone's letting doing a polite little knock on the door of your room.
No, so Volker will open it.
Yeah, and you do see the Corvum that was part of the council. He has a kind of a ratty cloak over his clothes and a hood over his head, and he gives you a smile, a little nod, and steps inside and says, sorry for waking you up. It's rather rude of me, but, well, I didn't want to draw too much attention to myself leaving the canopy.
Oh, that was sort of why we came down here. We figured it would be safer for you, and most people wouldn't know who you were down here.
I'm glad for that foresight. It did help me find you easier, and I did get some indication of where you went from your little friend Dahlia.
Acquaintance. So far, she does seem lovely though. What can we help you with this morning?
Yes.
Does this count as morning?
Well, technically it is after midnight, so technically yes, it's morning. But there was another job option that you could take if you'd like. It's regarding the avium. We have heard strange rumors coming out of there, sightings of skeletal birdfolk, general feelings of malaise, illnesses that seem to randomly appear. We've spoken to Headmaster Winsworth there, and he has made it clear that there are no issues beyond student gossip, but we believe there's something more occurring at the school. The other members of the council are less intrigued by this. It is.
I was going to say, who do you mean by we believe? Because if it's all of you, why wasn't this mentioned before?
It's myself and surprisingly Beta. The rest of the council, though, not happy about the potential implications of this.
Mm.
Unfortunately, with the handling of this in a more secretive manner, I'm not sure what kind of reward I would be able to promise, but I could speak to Beta about this, of course. And yeah, certainly, I hope that they are just rumors.
How urgent is this haunting of yours?
Likely not too urgent. The bandits and trying to keep the flames from spreading, those likely take precedence. But if you ever find your way towards the avian, you might be able to investigate a little, if you'd like.
It does sound pretty discouraging up there. Students.
So far, there haven't been any sort of disappearances or no one's hurt terribly. Just some little illnesses that seem to get better. It's something that at least I wish to be incredibly mindful of.
Any particular reason you want to be so mindful of it?
Well, the implications of skeletal birdfolk do imply potential necromancy, which anyone with magical knowledge would know is very, very frowned upon. If it has to do with necromancy, it needs to be stopped as soon as it can.
Taunok just looks at Volker.
Volker just kind of stares back like, necromancy's bad. So it's something we should look at, probably.
Seems to me like Hillcrest is really still our top priority, but if that's where we're going, and this isn't in a rush, maybe by the time we get back to collect the reward from that, we can have something more concrete lined up. And then we can talk about it a little more.
Yeah, the Corvum kind of nods and is like, yes, that would be good for me. I will certainly speak with Peter and perhaps convince the other council members of the importance of investigating the potential necromancy. That's all I came to speak of. It seems rather small to speak of it so secretly, but I've a position in the council to uphold, of course.
Yeah. All you highfalutin birds and your highfalutin tree. I get it.
Don't mind him.
Yeah,
he's just grumpy.
He would have
Tired.
tilt his head in kind of a confusion Taunok outburst.
He's sort of okay once you get to know him. It's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a real treat.
Well, you seem rather strong, given that you've made your way all the way from Harvester to here, unscathed.
Mostly unscathed.
Yeah, and he kind of smiles as he gives a little nod and is like, well, if you would like to speak to me some other time, feel free to use magical means to contact me if you'd like, or Dahlia might be a good option as well.
Yeah, she really deserves a promotion, by the way. She's great.
He smiles. We will certainly consider it. Any other questions you have of me before I head back to my duties?
If I have any other questions, I'm sure they can wait till after breakfast. In 6 hours?
He gives a smile. It depends on when you wake up, but sunrise would be in about an hour and a half from now.
Joy.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting the three of you. And he gives a little bow before heading back to the door.
Townok will wait for him to leave.
Yep.
Then
He
just
closes the door, heads out.
eyeball Volker and just
So, just bad juju?
Well, necromancy's. I mean, you know what necromancy is, right? That's bad
Yeah,
news.
like at least I've heard of it.
Well, raising dead things back into some sort of. I mean, can't really call it life, but it's not a good thing. Just aside from
I'm
just
glad
being creepy.
you all think it's as creepy as I do.
Yeah, it is creepy.
I never know with you folks though, like, oh, eyes of newt this and hair of whatever's.
That's really not. That's like witchcraft. That's not really magic. Like, you don't go to school to learn how to do newt potions. I have, and he pulls out like his tome, which is not his wizard book, but like I'd be happy to show you some stuff if you'd like.
Nope. It is entirely too early for that. I am going back to bed.
Volker looks disappointed. Well, your loss, I suppose.
Sam, you keep talking and we can't hear you.
Sorry, I was talking to Wilker. I'll talk with you about it once we rest a little more.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yep. And you can finish your long rest with no issue.
Yay.
And as you wake up in the actual morning, you do smell some food that seems to be cooking down below.
That she's going to charge us 10,000 gold for.
Oh, at least. Well,
If you want real food to Townick,
we'll take a look.
Yeah,
Townok will at least see what is available for food.
Yeah, going down, there's just seems to be one of the other rooms that is being occupied at the moment, and there's a pair of hedge women with bowls of soup in front of them. The soup doesn't seem too appetizing. It's kind of like a thick sludge, but it is warm. They are eating it.
Well, that looks mostly like food.
I don't know, Tanak. You might look for newts.
Bet they'd like it, wouldn't they? Still, I guess I'm pretty full of nothing. So, yeah, let's all the way back to
I'll make you something proper.
all the way back to Hillcrest.
I'm gonna step outside of the inn, and I'm gonna use my blessing of the hearse to make a proper breakfast with my ration.
Yep. You are able to do that, and a couple of the folk around kind of, you get their attention, and they move forward towards you and kind of eye the food there.
Since I'm used to making large batches, I'm sure there'd be extra to share.
Yeah. The folk that you give food to are very, very grateful. And based on your journey from Harvester, you estimate that it'll take about 5 nights to get yourselves to Hillcrest. And pull you all to the map. So basically, you would have to go back to Metafin if you want to go on the road, and then up to Hillcrest.
If we're going back, we gotta think about that toll booth again.
Well, we got through that pretty easily with Ivo last time.
Yeah. Not so sure that'll work a second time. Sure they've had enough of a chance between when we saw him last and when we'd see him again to actually talk to someone in charge.
Well, we can either... Well, I suppose we have 3 options then. We can pay them like I had intended to the last time. We can avoid it and see if we can just go around a longer way, or we can just murder them. He sort of just winks at Taunok.
I think I can probably find us a way around.
I have navigator's tools. If we want to go by sea, we won't get lost.
I have a background ability that lets me do it. I think. I need to read it again.
I like the dry land, so thank you.
Yeah, I got navigator's tools as part of my background as a guild merchant. Because I guess the idea being that I would be on cargo ships and stuff, but yeah.
I would say those navigator's tools would also like help on the road as well, like figuring out which way is north, south, east, west, using the stars or whatever.
I can only circumvent things if the challenge required is to avoid climbing or gaining altitude, so that actually is not going to work.
You somehow get to the top of the tree without climbing the tree.
Yeah, I was like, it does specify only if there's a way to do it, which is the only reason I didn't try. Taunok clips through the bottom of the map and falls to the top of the tree.
Speedrunner hacks.
Personally, I think finding a way around's our best bet. Doesn't cause no hassle for us. Cheaper.
It's fine.
It's not like we're trying to move a caravan at the same time this time.
Yeah, I think that's probably for the best too.
Much as driving off those bandits seems like a good idea. Kind of feel like even if we get rid of them, there's just going to be more back in the same spot.
I'm already uncomfortable as being involved in this civil war arrangement than possible.
Civil War. They're bandits.
you see that now, but it's all it takes to brew a rebellion.
Look, I don't like the hoity-toity birds with their beaks in the air any more than the next person, but I mean, bandits, really? That's our other option? Either way, we got time to figure it out if we hit the road. Someone should find Ivo, probably.
Ivo swoops in through the door. Here he is. He's done Ivo things in the meantime. You don't know where he's been.
Ah! Here I thought we'd actually have a bit of a peaceful morning. Well, no time like the present.
And as I know, he would like Volker would sort of go to Ivo to the side, like he was literally just asking where you were. So don't let
Jazz
him,
hands.
because he because he's like as soon as he shows up, wow, I thought we were gonna have a peaceful morning. It's like you've literally just asked where he was.
Here's your
You
bowl
bet.
of breakfast, Iva.
And if there is nothing else you'd like to do or prepare in Alderheart, you can start heading back towards Winnowing Reach.
Yup.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I would say the 3 days of travel heading to Reach, you don't notice anything going on. You do notice like some more scorched areas, more ember bats, although they're mainly kind of in this north area. You don't notice any kind of bandit activity, though coming up to about there on the third day, you do see far in the distance your whole bandits, although they are facing this direction.
So, what's the actual decision here?
Well,
I'm fine with walking around.
I would say we have two options at this point. I mentioned 3 before, but I think 2 is more appropriate now that we're facing them, which would be 1, to go around them, or 2, to dispose of them, considering, as you had mentioned, they're up to no good, and if we don't do something about them, then they'll just continue to take advantage of other people. So I guess it just depends on how altruistic you feel like being. Do we want to help others, or do we want to just avoid the problem and move on?
You folks think if we get rid of them, they'll stay gone?
No, someone else will just take their place.
This sounds like a question for Ivo. Well, I mean, how many do we see? How many of them are there?
You do see, I think the last time you were there, you saw maybe, I think it was 2 or 3 Mapatch and 2 Gerbine.
I was gonna say about half a dozen altogether last time.
Yeah, this time you see 4 Mapatch and 3 Gerbine.
So they've bulked up a little.
I would say probably for this particular time around, we should probably just avoid them and possibly come back when we feel more comfortable fighting 7 people at once. Because I don't know about you all, but I don't feel particularly comfortable fighting 7 people at once.
Sounds like the votes are around then, so. Alright, let's see what we can find.
Townok will just start lumbering off into the woods, looking for a suitable path around.
Yeah, you can make a um, survival check, and everyone make stealth checks.
Haha, I still have a level of exhaustion.
I think by now, because it's been 3 nights, you would be fine, unless
Oh, that's
you,
right. We did have several nights. You're right. I
Yeah.
forgot about the multiple nights of travel.
unless you chase Ivo around still.
As long as he doesn't put me in a tree again. No, I don't. That said, I do have advantage on that stealth check from being a strig hiding in the woods.
Go ahead.
Oh, is that a disadvantage? Did I push the wrong button?
That is.
Is it because of your armor?
Oh, yeah. It would have been an advantage because of my armor, so it should even out. So
Yeah.
first roll was a 16, which makes it an 18 altogether.
Yeah. So with those stealth checks and Taunok and Maybell working together, you do find a way to circumvent the toll booth. You just figure if you go towards the kind of like the south of the path here, you have a bit more tree cover as you make your way where the toll booth is right here. And yeah, you're able to circumvent the toll booth. Coming out of the forest, you come out about here, and they don't seem to notice you.
Good work.
I like how Maybell is just like the party token. Like, we're just like writing her back.
Yep. Mabel's the token, and Taunok's the compass.
Yeah. And Ivo and I are lost at sea.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't get lost at sea because I have my navigator's tools. We know exactly where we are.
More precisely, you know how badly you're lost.
Exactly.
Yeah, you, after the 4th night, you have made your way back to the Winnowing Reach.
Excellent.
And Winnowing Reach is about the same as it was before. Lots of researchers running around. The magistrate, luckily for all of you, is nowhere to be seen. No rumors of the hedge witch in the forest. Anything you would like to do in Winnowing Reach before you move on?
Restock rations.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about it. Spend a night at the cart.
I think
guess
that
Taunok would-
I would say Taunok and I should probably buy bedrolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and buy any supplies you need.
How much?
Townok's also going to try to hawk his hide armor that he doesn't need anymore.
Yeah. Feel free to sell it at, I guess, half the price.
Sounds good.
Also, I didn't realize that I already had some scale mail, so when I took my 50 gold item from the lady we were escorting,
Yep.
so I'd like to trade that out for smaller items.
Yeah, be able to do that. I don't really mind if you just choose your 50 gold for.
It has
something
not
else.
come up yet.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Yeah.
What page is it on? Where is that? I'm looking for the supplies.
Bedrolls are... I got it right here. It's 1 gold for a bedroll.
Okay. I had the PDF, but I like looking at the book. It's more fun.
Page 150 in the actual book.
There we go.
I was staring it down and I'm like, it's just dark enough in this room that I'm having a hard time reading this, like, dark brown text on
Yeah,
light brown paper.
And once you're done in Winnowing Reach, it's about a half day's journey back to Meadowfen.
Just gotta take that hide armor off my feet and I'll be all set.
Cool. Actually, while you're doing party supply stuff, I think it's time for a break. I'm just gonna go quickly give my bird her medicine, and we'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Cool.
Sounds good. Man, I really gotta find a push to talk button that isn't the space bar. It causes me so many problems.
Yeah, I use like the Alt key when because I don't often use the Alt key.
That
I'm using the
sounds
one on the
good
number
one.
pad.
Yeah,
So
something
I
on the number pad would be awesome.
I
too.
also I don't know how I don't know if it says it anywhere, but like I have a donkey and a cart, and so like we could carry more things than we could carry on our backs if we're assuming that we have a donkey and cart with us at all times.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the cart is just like quadruples the carry capacity of whatever is pulling it effectively. And then the donkeys already have double carry capacity of their strength. Would normally be for like a character. So yeah, lots more stuff.
So something to keep in mind because I always kind of forget to like mention the fact that there's a donkey with us.
Poor old so-and-so.
His name is Montgomery. He does have a name.
Montgomery.
Good old Montgomery.
Hey, you know, like in actual long-form campaigns like this, where there's like fair amounts of travel involved, mounts are super useful. Mounts and carts, especially if you need like to actually track supplies and things like that. Like you don't have a cleric with you that just conjures food out of nothing.
Yeah, I am in the game upcoming next week, unbelievably. I am going to I don't normally do this, but I am going to make everybody pay attention to encumbrance.
Yeah, man. Like, I dig it. I'm all about that minutia.
And and I will probably make people do track ammo and stuff like that as well. The only thing that I probably won't do, just because it gets tedious, is the idea of like money and like getting down into the this is copper and this is silver, and please do the correct exchange of currency, because that just gets really tedious.
Yup. The only time that I bother to track that in a game is like if it's relevant in like, hey, there's this massive amount of money here, but it's all in tiny coinage, and so it's hard to transport.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only real thing. The only thing that really kind of got that it sort of goes hand in hand with encumbrance, though, because money's actually really heavy in this game.
Yeah. At least, I mean, funny thing is, I don't know if the weights that Roll20 uses for it are actually official weights from anywhere, or if it's just kind of something they made up, because I've never been able to find like a source that gives a weight for money in 5th edition. Could just be I also haven't looked for it very hard, but... Alright, I'm gonna go at least get a drink of water, because Taunok hurts my throat.
By the way, Matt, my schedule has been theoretically rearranged for the future, meaning I might actually be able to keep playing the game on Thursdays.
That's good.
Yeah, just as a heads up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of talking to some of the players about the ideas that they have and everything, and then combining that with the stuff that I have. I think it's going to be it's going to be interesting because I got a lot of stuff to work with. So
I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited.
and I don't know if you saw we posted it. So campaign 3 of Critical Role also starts in like 3 weeks.
I'll be honest, I don't really listen to it. I find that like I get in these moods where I just find it horribly grating.
I didn't fully watch. I mean, I stopped. I don't even know what the official like what the what session it was when I stopped the second one. And I actually, this was back when I was working in an office. And thankfully, I don't right now. I'm still happy about that. But so what I did is I listened to, so like the work that I do. So I'm like a business data analyst, I believe is actually my official title. And so I just fix a lot of issues that we have with the programs and stuff that we use. So I assist our other, like we have like a sort of like a sister department, and they update our system constantly, and then things break, and then I have to go in and research why they broke, and then I have to fix them. So that's kind of my job. So what's great is that like when I was in the office, I would just go in and I would put headphones in and listen to music all day and not talk to anybody. It was wonderful. I could just ignore everyone and I could just sit down, focus on my work and all that. So what I did is that I just listened to the first campaign while I was working.
I mean, that sounds pretty legit.
So that was how I got through it, because there's no way I could just sit down and just watch it, because that would just be way too much.
Oh yeah, I did all of that as like, oh, I'm gaming or I'm doing dishes or I'm doing something that requires me to watch but not listen. Let's turn on Critical Role.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to listen to Critical Role while commuting. So like a 40-50 minute drive.
Ooh, I've considered doing that, but one, now we live in a city, and so like I actually have to pay attention while I'm driving because there's lots of other people. And also my commute is not quite long enough that you could actually get like content that way. It's like a 15-minute drive depending on traffic. So it's like,
Well, you might be able to get halfway through the fucking intro.
I do consistently skip like half an hour at the start to get to the actual things that are happening.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I would do that a lot too. And that is like, so they posted a YouTube video sort of explaining what they're planning this time, and it actually seems pretty good, because what they're doing is they're not going to do it every week. I mean, they're going to, well, it is every week, but it's they're going to go for they go 3 weeks in a row, and then they take a week off. Partially because Matt said it gives him more time to prepare, which again, I totally understand. The complicated nature of their campaigns and the fact that he did it literally every single week is craziness. So it gives him the chance to like have that extra time to like build something, which I think is totally legit. But also they made mention of that there was going to be they could have like other people DMing games as well. So I don't know if that means that like there would be like a side quest or something where, you know, they would be playing different characters and maybe Matt would get to play, or I don't know how that they planned on making that work. But
they kind of did that in season 1, didn't they? Like on and off near the end of it, especially, where it was like, oh, someone's going to run like a one shot or something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know if they what their overall plan with that is, if it's something that they're assuming is going to be like, because they made it sound like it was not going to be part of the ongoing campaign. So there was going to be like, I don't know if they specifically had one shots planned in between to give it a little break, but I think obviously it's because they're doing a whole lot of extra stuff now, They're not just doing. When they first did it, it was like that was their job, just to play D&D, and now they have this whole empire of,
Right.
merchandise and all the other crap that they're doing. So my guess is that it gives them all a little bit more leeway to focus on some of those other things, and then also it allows for the breakup of the campaign in and of itself, so that they can, like they were saying, like Matt has the opportunity to like take a breather in between and it's not nonstop for 2 years like it's been with the others. But I don't know. I think it's interesting. I'm definitely going to give it a try. I did not like the second campaign at all. I stopped watching it, so.
I've been slowly plotting my way through it, and it feels like it has gotten better towards where I am, a little more of like the kind of stuff I liked from the first one, but it's definitely still just like, there's just so much of it, and having listened to the first one already, it's like this kind of, it starts to feel a little samey.
Once they became pirates, I gave up. Once they stole
I
the
know
ship.
that's where you gave up.
Yeah, once they stole the ship, I was like, I'm out. Not doing it.
I mean, I'm at the part where it's like, oh yeah, like time magics and like possibly solving like this war between these different nations, and also there are devils, demons, something like trying to take over the map and have kidnapped a party member, and that's their explanation for why Ashley is not in like most of the games. And it's like, oh, this is actually like interesting, but it also feels like the vibe is so similar to the first season now that it's like, I feel like I've done this before.
Yeah, and the TV show that Ashley was on, I believe, is now canceled, so I don't think she has any. I mean, who knows? She may be on another TV show and not be able to be there, but
that TV show that was so incredibly popular before, and I'm sure would have made her as much money as being part of the Critical Role thing did.
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, I'm giving it a shot because I like the world that Matt created, so we'll see.
Yeah.
That's why we're playing in that world on Thursday.
Hey,
Have fun, guys.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be neat. I'm really excited to be sisters with Tara. We're
Yeah.
gonna troll the town.
Now the question is, Astrid, my original character, had a French accent. Are we going to put on French accents?
Oh, oui, monsieur.
She was basically like Eliza sounds.
Des autres gens me disent que ma accent c'est bien, mais je ne sais pas si c'est vrai.
Yeah, so I'll make sure to only speak when I'm using Esma, the the one who's not actually from here.
I usually find that French is very nasal.
Oh, Sam, did you tell him the news about your schedule?
Yeah, I started to. So like they moved up schooling by a month, and they completely changed the schedule. So I should be able to keep playing on Thursdays if the schedule doesn't change again.
Sweet.
So
I'm pretty
Maybell,
excited,
and
actually.
also this new character should be able to survive ad infinitum.
Yay. Exciting. I like Mabel.
It is actually exciting because I was getting really sad I was going to have to ditch.
There's going to be stuff that I'm really excited about it because like I talked to Ryan yesterday, and there's going to be fun, weird stuff happening, and I'm excited.
Ooh, I do like weird.
My character does not like weird. Tara the player likes weird.
That was the thing that we discussed, even because like when I was talking to Ryan, it's like because he's playing a necromancer. I was like, you do realize that Tara's character is a paladin, right? Like, that's not generally the sort of friendships that.
So Tara, how long before you go Oathbreaker for the synergy?
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know. Ragna's pretty straight and narrow. Although Ragna sounds like Ragnarok, so maybe at some point she'll do something not good.
I mean, you could always just make your first oath in poor faith, like realize, oh no, I fucked up, and now you're an oath breaker. What do you mean I swore fealty to a king who's secretly evil?
I'm excited. I haven't chosen which oath path she will go on yet. See what the first couple of
Honestly, that's something
things happen.
I almost never do, and it's frankly one of the most fun ways to play a character, to just be like, we'll find out when we find out.
Yeah.
That's how Rob plays all of his characters. It's like he kind of comes up with, although I think he's put in some decent background for this character, but a lot of times he just puts in like the bare bones and is like, all right, my character's going to be whatever he becomes when we play, which I respect, you know, because it's like that is in some ways more difficult because, you know, you're just starting with a blank slate and letting the chips fall where they may, which is kind of scary.
Yep. I'm very happy to do that, like from a roleplay perspective. I think that that's super fun. But from a like mechanical perspective, I'm always like, no, I know exactly what I'm going to play, like from day one. Except with Taunok. Taunok, I don't know. I'm still like, I don't know what happens the next time we level up.
I've never played an enchantment wizard, so I'm excited to like.
Enchantment is such an underrated wizard.
Well, I got to
Like,
use my hypnotic gaze. That was cool.
It's so
Yeah.
good. And eventually, like, you get to free twin enchantment spells, which is so good.
That is pretty hot.
So anyway, Tara, if
Yep.
you'd like to continue the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to Humblewood. Anything you want to do in Winnowing Reach before you do the half day's journey to Meadowfen?
I don't think so. We already sold our stuff and theoretically spent the night. And there's no one here we know except for the researcher who
Yep.
we just saw last session.
Yep.
And the head of the town who we don't like. So I can't think of anything we would want to do.
I don't know. I mean, I'd spend the night drinking with Miss Brightspark.
Well, if you're figuring on spending the night anyway, then yeah, Kenna would meet with everybody, have their nerd chats again through the night while drinking.
Lovely.
Except I'm pretty sure Taunok would just like spend time not in the tree where the inn is.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're fed. Don't worry.
Awesome. Since we're all on the same page.
And yeah, you leave Winnowing Reach in the morning, I assume, and around, let's say, 1 in the afternoon, you make it to Meadowfen. And you do see that there seems to be a bit more organization in the village. They do have set up like kind of tent areas to house all the various refugees. They have a cooking area organized, medical area organized. So it seems to be doing a lot better than before. You do also see like a handful of tenders moving about the village, speaking amongst each other. You do also recognize the Mapatch and Raptor pair that you had met. I think it was in Winnowing Reach, in one of the inns, doing some work amongst the refugees as well.
Yeah, that's right. Ivo's buddies. Eyes out for, let's see, lots of people here. Let's start with the people who tried to kill Penny. Did they come back this way?
You do see Werner. He is talking to one of the tenders about something. You do also see, beside the tender, what's his name? The don't have him listed. The Elder of Meadowfen. Go find his name quickly. Yeah,
Haha.
he's chatting as well. You don't see Riffin or Julia, though.
Knowing that he is here, then it's eyes out for Coriander.
Yeah, you looking around, you actually don't notice Coriander, Penny, or Endo.
Figured.
So it looks like Coriander and the lot already beat feet out of here. Hopefully.
I hope so.
Should probably tell Ardwin about the help coming from Alderheart. Hopefully.
You're right. We should send word.
Though, maybe he can enlighten us as to the whereabouts of our friend without what's-his-beak over there pushing his face into it.
Yep, I'm watching the group, the attenders nod off and head towards where the kind of medic area is. And now Werner is speaking to Ardwin. And if you keep waiting a few moments, eventually the pair will also split.
Having to wait for Werner gets Taunok a little bristly, but not enough to go interrupt.
Yeah. Werner doesn't notice any of you as he steps away from the elder and heads off to the where the camp is. And Ardwin seems to give a sigh. He seems really tired.
Well, isn't this you two's kind of MO?
I mean, yeah, I can. Ardwin.
And Ardwin kind of looks up and looks back and he kind of looks at you a bit confused for a moment before recognizing you, and he's like, yes, oh, welcome back to Meadowfen. I hope you were able to meet the Bird Folk Council.
We were.
Yeah, they'll be sending a cart for relief soon.
Oh, and he lets out a big sigh of relief, and is like, oh, thank you. I'm glad you were able to make it. I hope the magistrate of Winnowing Reach didn't give you too much trouble.
He's kind of murderous and doesn't really like non-bird folk.
Yes, it's a bit unfortunate, but
But we do think we convinced him that Penny's dead. So.
By the way, what happened to Coriander? Wasn't she hanging around still here?
yes, she was very helpful. She used up all of her stock of her cart items with us. Eventually met up with, I believe, the one you said, Penny, that you convinced the magistrate she's dead. Met up with her and the little Gerbine fellow, and the three of them parted ways from the town. They went south.
About how long ago was that?
I believe it was 2 days ago when they left.
Good.
I'm just happy she's doing okay.
Yes. Though some members of the village here were a bit nervous around Coriander, she definitely showed her worth. Very, very helpful. Kind of endeared everyone to her despite her strange smile, you know.
Yeah.
Taunok wipes a bit of dust out of his eye and then... So, found out a little bit about your, what was that thing little doodad called again? We're asking about it, Alderheart.
The egg.
Yeah.
Oh, the Ovamea. You asked the council about it? I hope they weren't too shocked.
Well, they didn't seem not shocked.
Yes, I hope it's safely still in the Alderheart. It wouldn't actually be in Hillcrest, would it?
Well, we're on our way there, so I guess we'll find out.
Per their request to investigate why it has not caught fire like everything else. They say that the Ovamea is away being researched to see if it can be divided up to better protect everything. But we're very hush-hush about where.
That does make me a bit nervous. I know they wouldn't actually tell you the location of it, being at the Ovamea, but something feels off.
I mean,
You're not wrong.
they certainly all seem to get a bit ruffled when we asked about it, so I think that is a fair assessment.
He gives a sad little nod. Well, perhaps it is in Hillcrest, and then perhaps it can be broken up and given to villages and towns around the wood. And I know this is kind of a very optimist way of thinking, but it would be nice.
By the way, how's your bandit problem been around here?
It's actually not been too bad recently. It seems like the bandits have moved on from this area at least. We do still see some goings and comings, but they don't seem to be bothering us, which is nice.
We thought about killing them,
Good.
but and he just kind of trails off. Like, not
Yeah,
sure what to say next.
Ardwin's eyes kind of widen.
We didn't. It just...
This time.
Good.
Sounds like they kind of have their hands full over near the Alderheart anyway, from the sounds of what the council was saying.
And he nods. I'm just glad they're not stealing more things from here. We already have a lot of trouble, as it were, you know. Oh, but hopefully the bandits don't cause any trouble for that caravan that's being sent.
Well, that was kind of why we thought about killing them, just to avoid danger for others. But there were quite a few of them, and it seemed like a bad
Caravan
idea.
should be pretty well guarded, though, from the sounds of it.
Oh,
Well
good.
enough, at least. So,
Good.
more than a few bird folk and humble folk, if you know what I'm saying.
He gives a nod. I'll definitely be looking forward to the caravan. 5 days travel, perhaps another couple of days for a caravan.
be honest, we found out about it, and then we stayed in Alderheart for a night, and then we came here. So, if they're as fast as we are, then could be any time.
Good, good.
Yeah. Is there any wounded or anyone here we could help while we stop?
I don't believe so. We've got some tenders now come in to help, which has been. We're very grateful to them. They do have some knowledge of healing burns, especially, and we've had some other relief workers come in as well. He nods. Definitely nice to see a lot of bird and humble folk come together in aid.
Great.
Excellent.
Any word from Ashbarrow or Hillcrest?
Nothing at the moment, it seems. The Strig woman, Kara, she headed back to Ashborough. Perhaps I will send some of the guards you speak of up there to see what aid they can provide. From Hillcrest, nothing. There seems to be no smoke associated with them. We have done a little bit more trade with them. They seem to have farmed up a nice bounty of crop and insect livestock, which has been helpful.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yes, I admit it does bother me that they are able to get out unscathed, but at least they're being helpful towards the rest of us.
Yeah, and I mean, you'll follow to there where the fires go. Probably.
Yes.
Do you think it is?
Oh, I don't want to imply anything. I truly hope they're just lucky.
Same. Well, what do you folks think?
No time like the present.
Yeah, if there's nothing we can do to further help now, we should go investigate.
All right. Off we go then.
Good luck with your investigation.
Yeah, good luck here with stuff.
Gives a little chuckle. And to get to Hillcrest, it's just a small road to the village, and it'll take a couple of hours walk, so you'll get there before dark.
Nice.
All right. Well, no more walking.
And yeah, getting to Hillcrest is pretty uneventful. As you're walking towards Hillcrest, it's interesting. You see kind of like a obvious dividing line where there has been damage to the farms and crops in the area onto the Hillcrest side, where it doesn't seem to be damaged at all, and in fact seems to be flourishing from the extra nutrients in the forests, in the ash that have burned down outside of the Hillcrest area. And as you go into Hillcrest itself, it's a small village, seems to be smaller than Harvester. Similar to Harvester, there is a village square, and at its center there is a well. The well's bucket is beside the stone structure, kind of tipped on its side. The square is surrounded by a handful of stores and homes belonging to the farmers that surround the village. And Unlike the other villages you have passed, there is no sign of trouble or damage from the flames. A stark contrast to the devastation of the grove that's literally just beyond the village limits to the north. The bird and humble folk in the village seem really happy and are just going about their day, having conversations, chatting at the markets. Seems to be like a nice, tight-knit community.
Okay, yeah, seeing it firsthand, this is a little weird. Like, hearing about it, I was like, maybe they just got lucky, maybe something went wrong, but like, that looked weird to you guys too, right?
Oh, definitely.
Certainly not what you would expect, I suppose.
So,
High level magic, perhaps?
I don't get this whole magic mumbo jumbo, but do kind of have a thought about it.
Townok's gonna just start looking around town a little bit, specifically looking for any, chimneys, smithies, any place that was like supposed to have fire, and if it is present.
Yeah, you're able to easily find the village smithy. Inside her shop, there is a servant elk female. She seems to be working on a sword at the moment. In her shop, you also see armor, weapons, farming tools, and the like.
Forge ablaze.
Yep. Smoke coming out of other chimneys as well of homes.
Well, I got nothing.
And you do, some of the villagers that walk past you kind of glance at you because you are definitely outsiders.
Oh, yeah. Taunok is not good at being subtle, so...
Mm-hmm. And as you're kind of looking into the smithy, a kind of a long-quilled porcupine hedge comes up to you and kind of taps your shoulder and it's like, may I help you?
Yeah, sure. We're new here. Heard that, heard that you guys kind of got lucky with that, fire that hit a couple of the other nearby towns. Kind of wanted to just check in, see how things are going.
Yes. Yes, I'm the mayor of this village. My name is Garrick Prest. We have been very lucky. There have been a couple of other adventurers, other tenders who've come to our village to see what's happened, if we are okay, and we are very, very lucky.
And, what about, bandit activity and such? There's been a lot of that around not too long ago either. That's been all right.
Yes, no bandit activity here. Everyone is safe and happy.
Townok just kind of looks to Manuel and Volker like,
This is not my job. Someone take over, please.
Well, has there been anything happening lately? It sounds like there's obviously devastation all around you, and you're like, oh, well, everything is fine. It seems it's not our experience as we've been traveling around that people would just say that they were fine.
We have the. I suppose the only thing is we've tended to our crops and harvested a bit more than usual. Our smithy here has also been producing more items for aid, but no, that's about it.
Are you a magic person?
Uh,
Are you
no,
secret to the success of the village?
no, what? As I said, just incredibly lucky.
I'd like to insight that.
Yep. Anyone who wants the insight can roll an insight.
Sure, why not?
Maybell and Volker, Taunok, you just kind of notice that he's stuttering and kind of nervous.
I mean, yeah, he seems uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I
Volker.
told you already.
Yeah, Volker and Maybell, he's definitely hiding something. He knows more than he's saying.
Listen, we aren't here to take it anything, okay?
Okay. Glad you are not bandits.
You don't know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean.
We were hoping to copy the secret of success that Hillcrest has enjoyed.
As I said, we are just lucky.
And you're not good at lying.
You kind of see him tense up and narrow his eyes. As I said, we are just lucky. If you would please leave the village, I would greatly appreciate it. And he kind of makes a move to head off.
They're not leaving.
Volker,
He ignores you and keeps.
Volker is going to
Yep.
sort of like whisper under his breath a little bit and kind of move his hands around and say, we just want to, as Maybell said, there has to be more than luck to this. We're just interested in finding out how you've been so successful.
Dig it.
Yeah, okay. Wisdom saving throw. What's your DC?
What's my DC? 14.
He rolled a 14. What does that mean?
He succeeds.
In the case of a tie, it goes to the roller, so he succeeds.
Okay, so then
We get kicked out on our ass.
yeah, he kind of like glares back at you and it just says, as I said, we have no secrets here. And he just keeps walking and the other villagers are kind of whispering and kind of staring at you as you've hounded their mayor.
You want I should grab him?
No, we'll just have to investigate on our own.
All right.
Hypnotic Gaze is also a charm, which doesn't count as a spell slot, but it also makes them drop to 0, and they're incapacitated and visibly dazed. It just felt like that was probably not the way to go.
Yeah, you've already got gawkers just staring at you.
Charmed is less helpful when the secondary effect is incapacitated.
Yeah.
He likes you a lot, but also cannot move or speak.
And yeah, you're able to make an investigation check to go around the village, chat with them, see what you can find.
Look at my +6 roll there.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, +0. If only I'd had advantage.
Yeah, I would say as a group, as you're kind of walking around and doing your investigations, the first place
Town-
you yeah, go
Townok is
ahead.
being surprisingly nuanced, apparently.
Yeah, so the first place Townok goes is the smithy. You know your way around metal and stuff.
Yeah.
So you kind of get the servant elk female's attention, and she looks up from the sword that she's working on and says, can I help you?
Yeah, we're new in town. Came looking after we heard about the whole situation with the fires. Wanted to make sure that, like, everything's fine in here, right? Like, I don't know. Something weird about that whole situation to me.
No, yes, I just suppose that we are pretty lucky. The villagers and I have been working really hard. We are producing more food and armor and weapons than we need, probably for the refugees. I'm not sure what else we do
Look,
with it.
there
it
has to
seems
be
like-
more than a lot going on here.
She kind of shrugs and is like, I'm not asking too many questions, considering how safe we've been.
I try a person again, just because that's what
Yeah.
he said. That there's 14, DC 14.
Where is her?
I,
Oh yeah, she rolled a 5. You have charmed the servant smithy.
I had this idea, this path of like Volker just going down the path of Taunok, in that all of his charm is going to fail and he's just going to start murdering people. Charm person doesn't work. Magic missiles. So yeah, I mean, if the charm works, he's gonna like. Well, look, we talked to a few people. You know, we keep hearing over and over again this idea that we're just lucky, but there's only so much luck that can go around. There has to be something else that's happening that could keep this place from being damaged when every place else we've been to is in shambles.
I mean, to be honest, it's not even seem like it's just the fires. Like, bandits been causing problems all over the place, except here. Fires causing problems all over the place, except here.
Yes, I do have my suspicions. The food and armor and weapons that we have been making and selling, I don't think all the extra go to the refugees. I'm pretty sure I have seen some bandits going to the inn and to the mayor's home. I'm pretty sure part of the items are being sold to them as well.
Now we're getting somewhere.
That certainly would explain the bandit situation. No need to rob a place if you're buying things from them on the cheap.
Or possibly getting them for free with the idea that you're offering protection.
Either way, we didn't come here on that front.
True. Though it does,
It explained
Certainly.
a lot.
warrant some investigation.
For investigation, you may want to try the Innkeeper. His name is Drake. He does meet with the more unsavory folks that I have seen.
That's, certainly kind of you to tell us. You
My name is Cassandra. Nice to meet you.
Ah,
It's a pleasure.
Taunok.
And she just smiles and is very happy to be in your presence.
Is this innkeep person around this time of day normally?
Oh, yes, he runs the inn, of course. Probably cooking up some dinner meals or setting out drinks for the farmers who've come in.
Oh, wonderful. I could use something halfway decent to eat. It's been a while.
Yes. She kind of steps around where her workplace is and steps out of her shop and points at the inn and is like, the inn is just right there.
Wonderful. Thanks. Yeah, maybe, after we make some, get some food and ask some questions and whatever, maybe, come back, lend a hand. It looks like it's just you in here anyway, right?
Yes, that would be most wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure.
It was a great pleasure meeting you. I do hope we certainly see each other again.
Yeah.
Right.
Hope you have a pleasant day.
You as well. And as they're walking out, Volker will let them know. Just so that you're aware that after an hour or so, she's gonna know that I cast a spell on her. So,
She was being so nice.
Yeah. I tried to do it for the head guy, and he didn't buy it. But that one worked. And she's gonna know that it worked. And I don't know what kind of person that she is, but she may shrug it off, or she may go tell everybody that strangers showed up and cast spells on her. So maybe we should do things that we're here to do quickly. Maybe.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. All right, yep. Off to the inn. It's our only lead.
We've got probably 50 minutes, maybe?
Yep. So hurrying off to the inn, you step inside. There are a couple of farmers sitting at some tables drinking together. There's a pair of elderly badger Mapash also kind of eating dinner. And at the bar's counter, there is a male pheasant Gallus kind of cleaning a glass.
So, just before we do this,
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't cast any more spells. I'm sort of... I was a little upset that the first time I cast a spell failed, so I maybe didn't think it all the way through. So, yeah, my mistake.
So are you what? You tapped out or?
No, I can cast more spells. I just don't want us to get into any sort of trouble any more than we may have already put ourselves in.
Too late for that.
Last resort then. Got it.
Yeah, let's hopefully they'll be more welcoming to questions. Though somehow I imagine we'll hear lots of how lucky they are. Anyway,
Well, maybe you two social butterflies can go deal with this then.
Well-
I'll make sure that our friend doesn't come storming in behind.
no, we have time. So Volker will go up to the bar, I guess.
Yep. And the Gallus looks at you. What can I get you?
Whatever's on tap.
Of course. And he pours out a glass of ale for you and pushes it across the counter. Oh, 1 gold. Or less than if you want to pay like a silver.
I don't keep track of silver. That's too hard.
Yeah, I figured. That's why I rounded up to just the gold.
Everything costs a gold. That's like it's $10 and it's also a penny. It's just
Yep.
it's just a gold. So we're obviously travelers here. I'm sure you don't recognize us. So we are passing through. We're offering assistance to people that have been affected by the fires, and we talked to a few people. Talked to Sandra, and she was very, very helpful. Suggested that maybe we should talk to you. We're very curious that Hillcrest has been so untouched by the fires, and we passed some bandits on the way in, and we'd heard that maybe there was some they were helping out here, or I'm not really sure what that was about, but we ourselves would really like to help. So I didn't know if you could point us in the right direction or had any more details for us, or.
Yeah, the Gallus just kind of shrugs and it says, "Yeah, sometimes I've got unsavory folks staying at my inn, I figure they're bandits, but they pay and tip well, so I ain't bothered."
Do you ever hear them talking about what they're doing, or I'm sure that they like to drink, and you know what happens when people drink.
No, not much that they've said about Hillcrest itself. Is that what you're interested in? Mostly about where they're planning to go next, whether it be Meadowfen or back to Alderheart. He kind of gives another shrug and is like, "Funny thing I do notice is they do all seem to retire in the early morning past midnight. One time I did follow one of them and seen them meeting up with the mayor at night. Not sure what they're talking about, but it's weird. Don't go spreading that around, by the way. As I said, they tip well, so I figure they can keep coming."
Sure. No one really cares what we have to say anyway, right? We're not from here, so.
"No, of course." And he smiles. "Besides that, Hillcrest is nice.
It's very nice.
Guess the only annoying thing really is that," and he kind of nods towards the exit of his inn and is like, "The only annoying thing is the well in the middle over there in the square. Been dried up for a while now. Pretty annoying to get water. We have to keep going to the mayor, fill up barrels of water, bring them back to where we are. Hope that gets fixed up soon."
Interesting. Well, I'll order a couple more ales for my compatriots, and then I will appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I'll
Show me your water barrels.
Yeah. And he kind of turns around, and right beside his counter, there is literally a barrel that's filled with water. He uncovers it and kind of flourishes an arm like, "Yep, there it is. Barrel of water."
How full is it?
It's like 3/4 of the way full.
Give me a minute while I look up how much water you can fit in a barrel.
Depends on the barrel.
Yeah, how big is it?
Barrel sized. Typical barrel, like what? A meter and a bit tall? You guys don't know what a meter.
Americans talking freedom units.
Approximately 3 feet. Okay, so it can hold.
Give me some
42
gallons here. Yeah.
Or approximately 159 liters. So yeah, I will use Create Water and fill it up 10 gallons.
Oh, wish we could have more people do things like that. It's pretty annoying lining up in front of the mayor's home to get water.
And where exactly does he get the water from?
At that point, the elderly Mapash that have obviously been listening in at this point, they've been like, one of them speaks up and it's like, "Well, I've heard that there's a group of strong boys who go down every couple of days to draw water from An underground reservoir. And then the other one pipes up, I've heard that there's a tunnel system down there. Never seen it myself. And then the other one says, oh, of course you haven't. Only the boys in Mayor have. I guess. Pretty dark down there, I assume. And they start chatting away about going down into like a dark tunnel and getting lost.
Volker will
Interesting.
give Taunok the ale that he ordered.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun rumor, isn't it?
Yeah.
At least we can get water from somewhere, even though it is annoying.
You know, I'm a bit of a big guy myself here. Maybe we should go help bring up some water for these folks as a repayment.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It does.
Well, you can go speak to the mayor about that. I'm not sure that the three boys would be any help granting you access to the underground reservoir, but we can also talk to them.
Who are these three boys you keep mentioning?
Oh, they're just some village kids. Which kids are they again? Oh yeah, there's Raptor, a servant, and a Gallus. What were their names? Oh, Morty, Quinn, and Leo. That's right. And they start chatting away about the parents of these trio. And you can tell from their conversation that they're just three village kids who get a bit of extra gold from the mayor. Every couple of days, they go down to the underground reservoir, fill up some barrels, put them on a cart, and bring them back to the village for use.
You wouldn't happen to know where any of those boys could be found? After all, they might be able to help us find this place and lend a hand.
Oh, where do those boys play? Probably at the edge of the village, actually, up near the Scorched Grove. They always make trouble over there.
Oh, well, that's good to know. We were kind of thinking about going and taking a peek up around that edge anyway. See how close those fires got to you.
Yeah, I hope you boys and girl have fun.
This is thank you.
Welcome, dear.
So, think we should be moseying?
Yeah, let's go find Huey, Doo, and Louie. That was a bird joke.
That was a bird joke. I liked it.
It took me a second, but yeah.
And yeah, you're able to leave the inn, head to the north end of the village, and you do notice a handful of the village kids kind of playing around, throwing ash at each other.
Hey guys.
And the group of kids stop and kind of look and stare at you like, what on earth is this person?
We heard that you have been helping a lot because you guys are pretty strong and you take water up from the reservoir.
They kind of look at one another, and then the Gallus boy, he kind of grins and is like, oh, I don't know. Maybe if you give us some gold, we'll tell you.
Here's the silver. How about now?
They mutter again. Least 1 gold.
Fine. Give me my silver
It's
back.
just the 3 of you?
Yeah, he throws the silver, gets the gold. He tosses it to the raptor, who bites it in his beak, sees that it's real, or assumes that it's real. And then the Gallus is like, yeah, it's just the 3 of us. We go down into the tunnels sometimes to get water.
Those barrels are big. I can't imagine how strapping you are to take care of it by yourself.
Oh yeah, we're real strong. Just get them barrels, we put them on a cart, pull them around. The other two nod. Get some pretty good gold for it too.
How good a gold are we talking?
Like 3 for each time we go down.
That is
3 for
pretty
each
good.
of you, right?
They kind of look at each other like, um, 3 for the group, so 1 gold each. And then the other one's like, maybe we should ask for more.
Sounds to me like you should.
They nod at each other.
I'll give you 2 apiece if you'll take us there.
Their eyes kind of widen, or they're like, yeah, give this that. And also, if you give us 1 more gold, we'll tell you some secret.
A kind of secret.
Only a secret we know.
Yeah. Is it a secret the mayor knows too?
Probably.
He's a butt face anyway. And Mabel will nod authoritatively.
Tell you what. You tell us your secret. After we go look at these caves, you don't say a word to that mayor, and we'll bring it out to him about how you should be getting that pay raise. Gets you an extra gold every time you go.
I guess that's acceptable. Makes sense. The other 2 boys kind of like nod, like, yeah, that seems smart.
Yeah, just leave it up to us. Don't bring it up before that, because I got a whole plan.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.
We'll take you.
Sounds good.
Oh, the only thing is that the entrance to the tunnel, it's right beside the mayor's house. So you have to bend down, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Don't want him seeing you in the windows and then ruining everything.
That's a good point.
Smart kids. Good thinking.
Smart and strong.
Yeah. Are you gonna give us the gold to tell you a secret?
You bet your buttons I am.
Okay. And he holds out his hand.
Give him 3 gold. Get a
Yep.
piece.
Okay. The secret is one time, or like maybe once or twice, we've gone real deep into the tunnel system. And it stretches like right under the scorched grove, I swear. Yeah, it does, one of the other ones chime in. But one time though, we heard some weird noises. So, we haven't gone that deep again. Kind of freaky.
What kind of weird noises?
Like scratching and hissing and some weird like blinking noise or something. It was weird.
And you think the mayor's heard that before too?
Oh, definitely. That mayor's stupid. He's definitely hiding something. Always nervous and sweaty. It's weird.
I think so too.
All right. Well.
And yep, the trio of kids will kind of lead you towards the mayor's house.
Given how much time do we have before, like, how long is that going to take us to get there?
The village is really small. It'll probably only take like a 2-minute walk.
Checking something real quick.
Yep.
Come on, where is it? There we are. Okay. On the way there, Taunok will take off his scale mail. Put it in his pack.
Okie dokie.
which only takes a minute, so doable.
Yep. The kids kind of look at you like, why is he taking off his armor while we're walking?
I thought you said we had to sneak past the mayor's house. Did you want me rattling and clanking around and giving away your whole plan?
Oh, no. Okay, that's super smart. And then they all look at Maybell.
Who
Like,
is also wearing the exact
yeah.
same armor.
Yeah, I'll take it off.
Yeah, they all nod to each other and are like, okay, I think we should sneak now. The mayor's house is right there.
All right.
So I shouldn't have that disadvantage.
No, yeah, I'm looking at them. So you would have 10, Maybell has 15.
Yep.
And yeah,
No,
you
yeah. That's weird. I gotta find a way to shut that off.
Rob would know. He'll tell you.
Yep.
He knows everything about these.
I would
shoots.
know on most of the sheets, but
Yeah.
these sheets I do not.
Yeah, he knows.
I will have to dig around for it. I can find it. It'll just take me a minute.
And yeah, as you move past the mayor's home, nothing seems to happen, and the kids kind of point at a cellar door that has been locked up with a chain and padlock. And one of them pulls out a key that's on a string around his neck, and he unlocks it for you. And he's like, "It's just down there. You know, one day the mayor had us, a bunch of us, dig a hole from the cellar to the tunnel system."
That's weird.
Yeah, it took so long, but all the villagers did it anyway.
That's not what I wanted.
Just kill the kids.
No, I don't want to. I promise. Oh shit, that would be a crit too. Yeah, no, I do not want them dead.
No witnesses.
No.
All right, found it, fixed it. Gonna roll it once just to see if it works.
Yep.
Yeah, it works.
Okay. And so yeah, the cellar door is open and there's a set of wooden stairs that go underground.
All right, we're gonna head down. Thank you, boys. I'll make sure to cook you something real good when we get back.
At that, the boys start muttering to one another, getting a bit excited. And then one of them says to Taunok, "Remember your promise, okay?"
Oh yeah. Soon as we get back, once we're gonna have to meet a little bit with the mayor anyway. Once it comes to that, my word, we'll be letting him know.
Okay.
Once we are safely in the tunnels and no longer, like, in danger of having to sneak past the mayor's house, Taunok will take the 5 minutes it takes to put that armor back on.
Yeah, so going down to the cellar is partially attached to his home, but continuing down the obvious tunnel entrance that's there. The tunnel is kind of 6 feet high, so not too tall. And just stays about that height as you're walking northward towards the Scorched Grove.
I have to say, I'm quite anxious about what might be hiding under my ravaged home.
Certainly, bit concerning. But we'll find out one way or the other. Besides, I don't know about you. We seen any water yet? I gotta go deeper than this just to get that.
True. I'd also like to don my armor again.
Yep. Yep, so you're all armored up, and a couple of minutes of walking through the tunnel, um, you can kind of feel that the air is getting more and more damp, and you can hear water dripping from the ceiling of the reservoir. And the tunnel kind of opens into the reservoir itself. Taunok, with your dark vision, you can see the other side of the reservoir where the cave ceiling does get higher.
Interesting. Looks like the cave gets higher on the other side. Like the ceiling of it, like there's gonna be more space. There might be something big down here.
All right.
And judging from the fact that the kids said that they have explored deeper and there's no other path, the kids seem to have swum across the reservoir to get to the other side.
Well, who likes swimming?
How far
No.
is it to the other side?
I would say like 30 feet.
That is my base long jump. I will elect to do that instead.
Yep, with a running leap, Maybelle's already on the other side.
Well.
Taunok's gonna look around dismayed for a way that he doesn't have to get in the water either, but just
Alright, well. Guess we're taking a plunge.
and just hop in, swim his way across.
Can I try and jump and then like glide a little bit so I don't have to be in the water that long?
Yep, I would allow that.
I don't. What is the? How do you even roll for a jump?
Your long jump with a running start is your strength score in feet.
Oh, that's real bad.
Yeah. So Taunok's got a good one, but still not enough to clear the river.
I got 9 feet.
I think I got like 17.
Well,
Yep, 17, but not 30.
but with a running leap, I would say Volker makes the 9 feet and then maybe like,
Glide a couple feet.
yeah, glide a couple of feet.
So I got to swim 20. That's better than
You
nothing.
gotta, yeah, swim like 18 or something.
Taunok will swim all of it.
Ivo does some fun acrobatics and somehow gets the other side dry.
Obviously.
Flashy little prick. Alright.
Fun fact, real owls are one of the only birds that aren't waterproof.
Yeah. So you're
Yep.
just
Taunok looks about like half his normal size by the time he's on the other end.
sad wet dog.
Very sad. Head still roughly the same shape because the feathers aren't as puffy there, but like the rest of him is just like very slimmed down, very bedraggled looking.
I am currently singing Lord Garrus praises for having the wisdom to make me a servant.
And continuing down the tunnel, like a couple more minutes in, you do see the path starting to diverge. So if you'd like, you can make a survival check to figure out where to go. Or an investigation check, I guess.
That's probably the best survival check I could possibly roll.
That's just as good as my best survival check, so I'm not even going to bother to roll.
Yeah. So, Volker, as you look down at all the paths and options you have, you do notice imprints on the ground as if something large has been dragging itself through the tunnels. And so you start following that, and you keep following these markings, and you realize if you hadn't noticed these, you'd probably easily have gotten lost, as there are many tall and small offshoots that lead away from this path that you're on. And eventually, after about 10-15 minutes of walking, you see far off in the distance some red lines kind of glowing. And Taunok, even with your dark vision, you can't really tell what that is.
I was to say, I forgot I don't have dark vision, so I'm going to use my light cantrip.
Yep.
Yeah,
I just assume that anyone without dark vision is going to use something.
Yeah, I've got my dancing lights too, so.
Yeah. I would say the dancing lights, you could get way out ahead of us, technically. You could get those further out than even I can see.
Up to 60 feet, the new spot within light must be within 20 feet of yes, yeah. Like I think it's about the same actually.
About the same, plus they shed 10 feet of light, right? Yeah, 10-foot radius. So it adds another 10 feet to what we could see in distance. And it's dim light, but because I have dark vision, it's bright light for me, which means I could make like normal perception checks.
And they dance.
And they dance. Which is clearly the best part of that spell.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
So do you think that the boys came down this far?
Do we hear anything?
Make a perception check.
Man, I'm all about the wisdom today.
Yep.
We hear.
Yep. I was waiting for Maybell if she wanted, but Volker and Taunok, you do hear some faint breathing in the distance coming from where that red glowing light is. Okay, Maybell, you hear it as well.
I would say about here, stuff they were describing sounds louder. Although, oh, they're dragging around. They probably didn't make it this far, actually. Are we gunning to go in there?
I mean, that's kind of why we're here, right?
Right. All right.
Taunok, make sure his shield is fastened on and takes a couple deep breaths and steps into that cavern.
Yep, so stepping into the cavern, Taunok, with your dark vision, you do see the gray outline of a long beast. And Volker, with your dancing lights, you kind of shed light into the cavern. And what you see is a giant black-scaled snake that's laying on top of a large pile of gold. And as it breathes, you see kind of a red glow coming from between its belly scales that increases and decreases in brightness in time with its breath. And from your position, you think that it's probably sleeping just on its pile of gold. And I will move you all here.
The good news is I have one spell slot because I charmed people.
I still have plenty of slots to cast Fist.
And I think we can end it here to let Ivo has fun with Giant Snake as well.
I think that sounds fair. It is also a little after 10, and I am uncharacteristically tired for this time of night. So I think I'm going to vanish into the mists of time.
That is A-okay.